McAssey circuit, Brands Hatch, all the way through to Yas Marino.
It's Sonoma,
One race,
bumps galore,
YMTV.
YMTV.
Oh,
Is it clear now?
Oh, he's gonna make it work. All once again, now this is going down towards the double right hand. Who's it gonna be?
It's Midlothian!
Okay, it's Ross Harmar.
This race is
Spoken has the acceleration. What a race! What a race!
Live tonight from Laguna, Seca in Monterey, California. It's the opening round of TORA's newest series, Trans Am. 8 different classic American muscle cars. Over 55 drivers right here on YMTV. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your leader in Forza League coverage. My name is THR Flipmode, and I'll be calling the action, and on the ones and twos, alongside me is Pat McAssey. And Pat, the hype has been real for this series. It's had some buzz, hasn't it?
For sure. We had a preseason race last week. Everybody was out practicing, and got me looking really excited for the action that's coming this week. Really good cars, a lot of close racing.
I can't wait to get started. We're going to get those racing kicked off, or qualifying kicked off, and racing probably right at the top of the hour in 10 minutes time, 11 minutes time. But today it's the opening round. Everyone is at 0 points. They have picked their car. They have a fresh coat of paint on it. Teammates have been chosen. The dinner table is set. And tonight, folks, you are getting dinner and dessert.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting 13 lap races coming up tonight, not counting qualifying. So we got a lot of action coming at you.
Yeah, we'll be doing the traditional, taking the 16 fastest drivers. 55 drivers registered for the series. I believe we have somewhere around 40 to 50 drivers racing tonight. We'll be capturing and watching the fastest 16 of those drivers. If you're not familiar with how the format works and how TORA does this, everyone's going to be racing and qualifying, putting up their fastest times, and then once the qualifying session is done, the TORA marshals are going to sort all of those times. They're going to capture the fastest 16 drivers, and that's the racing we'll be watching tonight. But first, what is Trans Am? Everyone thinks Trans Am, and I know you think, oh, it's all Pontiacs. Not the case. This is actually all classic American muscle cars. Now, the Trans Am series is a series that's still run to this day, but we're going to its glory days, its heyday back when it was just the it thing out there, and it's all manufacturers of classic American muscle cars. Dodges, of course. We got the Firebird Trans Ams. Ford Mustang's also going to be here. We even got some oddballs out there too in the AMC Javelin. So that's actually what Trans Am is. It's just not just Pontiacs. But good mix of cars, right, Pat?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, if you're just looking for Pontiac Trans Am, you're going to find not that many of them.
I know. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. We'll get to that in a second. I do want to take a step back because the last time we were out here, Pat, and we kind of teased this video last time on the preseason show, but we covered the Hot Hatch Challenge. It was one for the ages. I had so much fun doing it. We're going to take a look back at that series. TORA Hot Hatch Challenge at Brands Hatch Indy, and we are off.
And Boost stalls.
Here comes Smithy. Smithy up the inside on Druids. It's a little sloppy there.
He makes a mistake on exit though.
Boost is off. He crosses the line. KDT takes the win here in race 1. But listen to this. I hear the engines though, Pat. These guys are going to go without them. They're going to make them start in the pit. And here we go. Hamish and Solar side by side. So Dandy in 5th place. He's got your fastest lap of the race. Got the inside here. Oh, it's a touch from KDT.
Oh.
And it's going to be a Happy Cat lockout. Taking 1, taking 2, and taking all 3 spots on that podium. And we are underway. Vortex with a great start. Here we come through Cliff for the first time. Stick Batman's having a rough first lap. He's fallen from 1st, now into 5th. Through the dipper for the first time.
Race Diablo's getting a run on Kyle Nader into the middle for P6.
He's off. We've just got it. Vortex
just
off
joined on.
in turn 2. Yep. Roadkill's going to sim twitch. He's going to take out a few drivers. His teammate as well. 12 laps around Road Atlanta. 3 wide as we approach turn number 1.
They call me Bub's got a great draft off.
Race number 1 at Hockenheim.
And Roadkill spins.
Oh,
and he takes out Solar with him. And Solar flips.
LMR Harmonic crosses the finish line. 1. AX Sports Me 2. They are on their feet in Suzuka. Your TORA Hot Hatch Challenge champion is F4H Diablo. The Hot Hatch Challenge was an awful lot of fun, and we kind of talked about it last week at the preseason show about how those little cars in the front wheel drive really took me by surprise. You brought up a great point about the track selection, though, and I thought that was a good point. You should reiterate that too.
That was a perfect example, that series, of getting the track combination right with the cars to produce great racing. And I think we have it again this series, but kind of on the polar opposite end of the spectrum, because instead of small front wheel drive cars and tight twisty tracks, we got American muscle, heavy, rear wheel drive V8s that just haul ass.
The rear end is going to be the lively end here. The last time at the Hot Hatch Challenge, like you said, they're all front-wheel drive cars. It's definitely a different dynamic. You couldn't have picked 2 different cars, 2 different eras really as well. In technology and racing etiquette, it was just a different time back then. So completely different cars. I mean, these cars, I got the roll cages in them. We got some upgrades in there to make the cars a little more easy for the drivers out there to tune in the game, so it's not as rudimentary as the original Trans Am cars were. But for the game purposes and the tuning purposes, they've given some upgrades here. But yeah, completely different. If you're just joining us, folks,
everybody was still getting a little out of shape last week, and you can see it even on the highlight reel here. Cars getting twitchy all the time.
Yeah, it's not easy. This is certainly not an easy cars to drive. And while we're kind of on the topic of the cars, let's kind of talk about those in particular, because they got 8 cars to choose from. And Pat, you don't know if you have the models there in front of you. You want to run those run through those? I'm not
Yeah,
sure if you're
so
ready for
starting
that.
off from the top, we got the 71 AMC Javelin, which is the most popular car out there tonight. 70 Camaro Z28, 69 Camaro Super Sport, which is the less popular of those two. 70 Dodge Challenger RT, 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302, 71 Plymouth Cuda, 73 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, and a 69 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
So, interesting to see. I mean, we got some. Everyone knows a lot of the Chevrolets, the Dodges, the Mustangs, the Cudas. The Javelin, definitely a more of the, probably say, the oddball car out there. But we took a look at the cars being registered for this series beforehand, didn't we, Pat? And what did we find?
Yeah. Everybody loves it. People love the Javelin, people love the Camaro Z28, and people aren't really caring too much for the Trans Am or the Boss 302.
No, that's my favorite too. I like the Boss. That's the one I probably would have picked. But early testing seems to be that the Javelin and the Z28 are the favorites. So look out for those. I know our returning champion, F4H Diablo, I don't know if he'll be racing tonight. I believe he's actually out, but he's picked the Z28. So he's a guy who's done some significant testing, I bet. So if he's picking the Z28, he probably knows it's up there as far as it's a strength or a stronger car. But Javelins, the Z28s, expect to see a lot of those tonight. I think they're probably making up at least half the field.
Yeah, and important
now
to
the
note,
mandatory
those two cars, they're both the most popular, but one's the lightest, one's the heaviest. The Javelin's 2900, Camaro's coming in, or sorry, 2935. Camaro's 29 like flat, so one of the lighter cars, and that should kind of balance it out a bit. But it's interesting to see people coming at it with different approaches.
And they're also on the lower horsepower spectrum compared to, say, the Camaro and some of the Trans Ams. Those two cars, I believe, have the lowest amount of horsepower.
Yeah, starting out at 534 for the Javelin, and 434 for the Javelin, and 431 for the Camaro. And you get, if the Camaro Super Sport, by contrast, you got 470, and then you got 450 for the two Firebirds. So, yeah, people choosing to sacrifice power.
Yep, interesting to see there. No mandatory pits, so no worry about fuel. It's all about track performance and keeping that car rubber side down and getting the quickest laps and being able to manage traffic. No need for pit, no need for strategy. It's going to be all out brawling and racing here tonight for the Trans Am Series. The mandatory parts, which you see there on the right-hand side of the screen, this is what we call a spec series. You do not build your, well, you do build the car, but you have to choose, you have to add the mandatory parts there on the right-hand side of the screen. Those have to be within your vehicle. And then, on top of those mandatory parts are additional parts for each car. Now, those extra parts, which are not on screen because they differ for each car, are there to try and balance out the car so they can be as close as possible. However, you have to have those mandatory parts there. That is necessary. If drivers do not have those mandatory parts there, well, the marshals will be able to see that on screen, knowing the stats are different. They're looking out for those types of things. So, but that is actually what we call a spec series. The builds are prepared for you. You can still tune the car to your specifications, but the build of the car, that's been provided for. But we actually should prepare a video of where we're heading. We're going to Laguna Seca, and Merginator is going to help us out with that.
Our first stop is Laguna Seca. Carved out of the hills of the Salinas Valley in Monterey, California, it is a curious racetrack. Opened in 1957, it's a short track at just 2.23 miles. Laguna Seca features 11 turns, including a unique collection of kinks, hairpins, long sweeping turns, and a hair-raising downhill corkscrew. The best overtaking zones are at Turn 1, the Andretti hairpin. The Brave will outbrake their opponent at the corkscrew, and at the final turn, Turn 11. You enter Turn 1 at a high speed, a double apex left-hander. The infamous corkscrew is a crested, blind apex left into a downhill right, 3 stories in total. Turn 11 is a sharp left-hander. Watch your mirrors, block pass, and a good exit onto the front straight will get the job done. Thank you for letting me take you around the lap around Laguna Seca. My name is Merginator. Now back to the guys in the booth. It's time for some American muscle.
Merginator helping us out there with a lap around Laguna Seca, and it's definitely a unique track, that's for sure. So if you don't know who Merginator is, he actually has a YouTube channel. It's got some great content. I encourage everyone out there to go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Mergianator. Merginator is where you can find him on YouTube. So let's kind of talk about the format of the night. How is this TORA Trans Am series going to be run? Pat, can you help us out?
Yeah, so we're starting off with a 5-lap qualifying session, which consists of 1 warm-up and 4 hot laps. Then, excuse me, after that we got 2 races tonight, 13 laps each. The grid order will be set by qualifying, and the grid order for the second will be set by the finishing order of the first race.
And that qualifying session's actually set to kick off here any second, so we're actually going to be getting on time here. So, any early predictions for cars? Any thoughts on Laguna Seca? Who might we be looking out for? What kind of car are you thinking? What's your gut?
I want to say the Camaro, just because I believe it has a shorter wheelbase, which should help it around here.
Me? Yeah, I mean, the Z28, the Camaro, that's what I'm assuming you're saying.
Yes.
Probably, that seems to be the popular one. I mean, the Javelins, there's more people registered in the Javelin than the Z28. But I gotta think the Z28's got a little more. Based off what I've seen last week and in testing, I think the Z28's got something there. Also, note of qualifying, which we're going to jump over to right now, ghosted lobbies. So when we say ghosted, cars won't be driving in, they can actually drive through each other, and that's to everyone can get clean laps. There's a look at a Javelin right there in a classic blue, white, and red scheme. Let's get a look. What do we got in here? It's a new name. I don't know that name. Uehara Tofu. So he can put up today. Let's see who else we got in here.
So I'm just throwing this out there that I am not able to spectate this again, even though I tested my Xbox earlier and it was working fine. So I will try to get this sorted.
You can always watch off the stream as well.
Yeah, I have the Switch one,
which is a bummer.
This is annoying. I made sure to get home early from work tonight and make sure my spectate was working.
Well, on screen there, you get a good look at THR Tri-Passin. He was a Forza RC competitor and my teammate out in front. His teammate THR Sparky right behind him. So they are leading this pack of cars. They're going to get some clean space. Sparky's in the Mustang. And Tri-Passin
Tight pack behind
See
him.
there in the Z28. See if I can get some fastest lap times up there. So look up at the top. That's now going to be sorted by lap times. So fastest lap times and clean laps, folks. You want clean laps. What we mean by a clean lap, if you go off track, if you go past those white lines, that will be considered a dirty lap. Those don't count. So cleanliness is what these guys are looking for. Clean laps only. So it gives a little extra pressure, though, doesn't it? When you're trying to go as fast as possible, but stay within the lines. It's a little bit of a stressful, because, you know, you got guys everywhere. It can really get to you.
Yeah, especially now that clean lap is a real clean lap.
That's right. So track limits have been clearly defined for all these drivers. They'll be able to see exactly those limits on screen, should they actually turn that on. I keep it off if I find it a little distracting, but some guys like it.
I'm not a fan, but I think it's a personal choice. Some people can deal with a lot of crazy stuff on their HUD.
So here we are. This is actually Roscoe P. Coltrane coming around. Now approaching turn number 10, and now we're going to get a good look at the first full flying lap times. Roscoe P. Coltrane now. Turn number 11. You need a good exit here on turn 11. Misses his apex slightly, but that's okay. He's going to get a good launch here. It's all about turn number 1, the Andretti hairpin. Like Merganator said, it's a double apex. Keep it nice and tight. You maybe see some guys run a little wide. I like to keep it nice and tight. See, there's definitely some different lines. He's going way deep.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard some
people say with higher power cars, you can sometimes take it like a late apex, but for me, tight seems the better way too.
Yeah. Also, all comes down to your braking markers. So you see those braking boards; they're kind of everywhere today. And
yeah, for
coming
sure.
over that kink left-hander, that first turn, the cars just really lift. They actually do lift off, and then you got to get the car settled in a straight line to start your braking for turn number 1. That's really, really difficult, and that's going to kick off those braking markers. So the guys who don't use the braking line, they're going to wish they did. If those braking markers are gone, 13 lap races, I bet it's going to happen.
I would.
So
be
our
surprised.
fastest times, let's take a look who we got up here. Fastest lap, THR Tri-Passing at a 135.5. Nas 137, so he's a full 2 seconds. Oh, I bet those times are going to be coming down now as we're in lap 3. Big Ben there on the inside, so Big Ben on the move here.
Got a good run out of the corkscrew.
He sure did. Look at this. We're right aboard right now. Wincharger, he's got cars all over him. Let's see those lap times now. He's not done another clean lap. Sparky's yet to get a clean one in. He's in 12th, 136. Maybe he has got clean, so these times are certainly coming down now.
Yep. Trying to see if we can get down further, closer to the 134s.
Yeah, I don't see any 134s yet. 137s, 136s.
Just 135 looks like it'll be about where we are, as you were saying beforehand.
There on the left-hand side is your track map. Your leader, well, actually doesn't really make much, not too relevant there in the leader, but best lap, 135.5, is indeed Tri-Passing. And he's looking to put that car on pole. Remember, there's more than one lobby here tonight. I believe we have three lobbies. So just because he's got the fastest time in here now doesn't mean he'll be on pole once it's all sorted. I saw other names out there. LMR Harmonic, extremely fast driver. I believe he's on his way to Mexico City soon. So look out for him. He's another possible pole contention driver. we go. Let's take a look at those lap times one more time. Are they going to be coming down? Approaching turn number 1 they have. So Tri-Passon's got it by a 1/10. He's 135.4. He's still holding on to it. What else is out there, man? I really thought there'd be more here.
Yeah, I'm
He's
surprised.
that much faster.
Nobody else seems to be coming close to the 135s.
Julian, 136.3. That's a huge gap. Massive.
THR Sparky, 135.6.
Okay, so Sparky's 135. Okay, so we got at least 2 THR drivers, 134, 135. Julian, we know he's super, super fast. He made the few Wednesday showdowns recently, nearing the end of the season, so I know he's got pace. Maybe just hasn't felt comfortable or got enough time behind the wheel in that car yet, so we'll see. We will see indeed. Flying Mikey J, he's actually our marshal for the series, and he's helping doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And currently looks like he's in 13th. Let's see what his time is. 138.3.
There's a lot of 136s up there, so it'll be interesting to see where the cutoff is, if any 137s make it into the top lobby.
There's just not many in here. There's okay, maybe there is a few 136. Look at one. I don't know. I don't see too many. So
I think I see like 4, if I counted that correctly.
Okay, so given 4, I mean the gap though that Tri-Passon has, I think Sparky's now in the 135s. Let's see here.
Yeah, Sparky's been in the
up.
135, 135.7. I think I saw him at 135.6 at one point.
We're about done now. Mikey J's going to be doing around his final time. So these are last laps, actually. These aren't... So those are last laps up at the top. I just realized that. They're not...
Yeah, it shows you the split from their fastest.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't help. So I guess we really know that, indeed, Tri-Passon's definitely the fastest in this room.
For sure.
The 135.4. We know that. But we have seen 135s. We've seen some 136s, so I think you're right. 136, if you don't go to 136, doesn't look like A-Lobby's going to happen. So if there's 4 drivers here, 5 drivers here, and 136 is, you kind of multiply that by 3. Now we're getting to that 16 driver cap pretty quickly, plus or minus 1 or 2 drivers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the other lobbies had the same type of split, or if maybe they had a couple of guys dipping down to the 135s as well.
Yeah.
Didn't catch who was in the other lobbies, so I'm not sure.
But pole, provisionally, it's a Z28. And that's going to be THR Tri-Passon. And we've just about wrapped up qualifying. So what will happen at this point now is all of those times in each of those rooms are all going to be collected, and we'll be taking the fastest 16 drivers. If you are just joining us, this is the TORA Trans Am Series. It's the debut round tonight. There'll be 6 rounds in total. We're going to be going to all classic American Trans Am courses. We'll have a little video here in a moment talking about the calendar in particular. But today, it's the opening round. Everyone's at 0 points. Everyone's just done testing. They picked out their cars. They've just done the first qualifying session. And we're doing 2 races. Race number 1 will be starting here momentarily. Race number 2, that is how they finish.
I believe so. It didn't say anything about a reverse grid this time.
Okay. So unlike the Hot Hatch Challenge, we don't believe a reverse grid is in play here. We do believe it's how they finish. So, that wild card of the reverse grid is gone. Now
it is, and I think that might have
straight
played
pace.
better with the 3-race format.
That's true. with the 2-race format, you know, the guys who deserve, who put in the time and put in the qualifying time, earn the pole, they get the opportunity to start in race 1, and then the guy finishes race 1, wins the race 1, who has a good finish, finishes in the top 3, top 5, they get a chance to then start a good position in race number 2. So I think I'd almost see it as a penalty if they finished really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. With the 3 race, you had it where everybody kind of got their fair spot in at least one race, and then there was a wild card for the 3rd one where if you did well in race 2, you had to earn your spot in race 3.
Yeah. Well, we got a little video prepared here about the calendar while we wait for those drivers and the marshals to get all of the times in. More than one qualification lobby is taking place tonight, 3 in total. I believe we have somewhere around 40 to 50 drivers. But right now, take a little break. Be right back. TORA's Trans Am calendar will have 6 stops at America's most iconic racetracks. Each one of these tracks are not only part of American car culture, they were also once part of the real Trans Am series. Our first stop will be at Laguna Seca in Monterey, California. In 1970, it was Parnelli Jones who took the win. Today, I'm sure the name will be much different. Then, we head to the great state of Wisconsin for what is the longest track on our calendar, Road America, coming in at just over 4 miles long. The calendar will heat up as then we travel to Sonoma, then head across the country to Watkins Glen in New York, then go south to Road Atlanta. Then, it doesn't get any more old school than this, Sebring International Raceway, where we will declare our champion and end our series. I'm sure it's going to be a great season. Thanks all for watching. This is Flip. I'll see you guys later. So we got a cool look at the calendar, and every Thursday night for the next 6 Thursdays consecutively, you can tune in right here on YMTV. We will take one break just because of the Forza Racing Championship. I know we got a few drivers headed to Mexico City. I'll be there as well, so we won't be able to have that show, but that one exception will be here the entire series and the entire season, bringing you guys all the action. Appreciate everyone tuning in, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Holla at your boy. Hit that subscribe button and favorite up at the top. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're going to get racing here soon. Right now, we're kind of just waiting for all of those times to come in from the qualification session, which just wrapped up. We're seeing 135s, right, Pat?
Yeah, we got 134 with LHR harmonic, so 134.9.
Okay, so we've seen a 134 out there.
I wasn't expecting that. Then we got a 135.4 from THR Tripass, and then a 135.7 from THR Sparky, and then the next fastest is 136.3 TUS Julian. And what we were saying last time was that we thought 136s were going to be the cutoff, and if we're starting to see 134s, I think that's definitely going to be the case.
Yeah, Harmonic, though, I think he's a step above a lot of the other drivers we're going to see here tonight. He is a Forza RC qualifier, headed to Mexico. So I think he's certainly got a little more pace than most of the other drivers out here. He's certainly got a lot of skill behind the wheel. So I don't know that we'll see too many 34s. That's just my guess. I wasn't
expecting a lot, but I think if there's even one then that might be enough to make 36 the cutoff, because we were seeing a few 36s.
Yeah, I think
Interesting
you
to
gotta
note
be in the
too,
36s.
Harmonic was in the Firebird.
Really? You're
Yeah,
right.
so-
He's in the Firebird.
The
we
lone
haven't-
Firebird.
He's in a 73 Trans Am, and
There's a few
on
other
my
73s.
count, there was a few others, yeah.
3, so we got GR1M Racer, Hunty 1981, KC mode, and then another SRT NOS.
Yeah, there's 8 in
HCCR
total,
cards.
my count.
8? Okay.
8 total, as of
So
this
that's about
morning.
half as
I haven't-
popular as the Javelin?
Half, exactly, put it that way. Twice as many people picked the Javelin as the Firebird. Now, I know more people did sign up throughout the day, but puts it in perspective, that's not the popular car. But not only did he put his car on pole, think of it this way also. He put there's 6/10 between him, 5/10 between him and Tri-Pass.
Yeah, that's a big
Harmonic
gap,
put up a
because-
134.9 and 135.4 for Tri-Pass.
As far as we know, there could be people in the 135s who beat Tri-Passes, so there's a big gap there.
Yeah, huge gap. That's why I still think 36 is though, because I can't imagine too many other 34s out there. So definitely a
I wouldn't
36
think so.
needed to get in. Yeah. But you're right, good point with the TA there. Because I probably am going to imagine we're probably going to get a good mix of Z28s and Javelins in today's race. Get a Firebird up there. That would be neat to see. So racing should be kicking off here. I'll give it a generous 5 minutes, hopefully. We may go a little longer than that. So we're kind of in that stage now where you can certainly lean back, kick back, and get a drink. Get a cold one. If you got one, send one over my way. I could use one. That's kind of what we're waiting for. All of those times to come in. Let's see if we can do a refresh here and get any more times in. Not yet. But at least in our lobby, qualifying room we saw, I tell you, 6, 7, 8. Half the lobby put up a 36. Wow. Or better.
So did we? I forget. Did we end up seeing anybody in the 138s in that lobby as well?
We did. I'm not going to shame them. We did see some kids.
I just wanted to know for statistic reasons.
There is. Maybe they had a tough time. Okay. You know what? Don't know.
Ooh, lots of times coming in now. Okay.
Are they?
So we got still no. Oh, that was the only 134, and THR Tri-Passing still holding P2 with 135.4, but there's a bit of a gap between him and THR Sparky now.
Yeah, I don't see any more times on my sheet.
So just 136 is just the cutoff. P17 goes down to 137.
Oh, really? You got it all? Okay, hold on. Let me do some refreshing here.
Yep.
So we're ready to go.
Pretty much.
We'll run it down for us because I don't have it quite yet.
Oh yeah,
it's our
sure.
top
So
16.
P1 sitting on pole. We got LHR Harmonic with a 134.9. THR Tri-Passing 135.4 for P2. EVR Mead 135.6. Driftin' Hero 135.6.7. So EVR Mead was 135.6.1. THR Sparky 135.7. We were talking about him earlier. DRR Roadkill 135.9. HCCR Colonel 136.04. 136.05. Dantic Squirrel, 136.1. SFM Darkser, perhaps try saying that 5 times fast, 136.2. TUS Julian, 136.3. FRF Dysterical, 136.4. SRT Nas, 136.6. Big Ben, 136.7. Hailfire, 136.7. Insanity Curse, 136.8. And CCGG Racing, 136.9.
And what do you see out there for cars? What are we looking at in the A lobby for car mixes?
We are looking at a pretty good mix, actually. We got a Firebird, Camaro Z28, Cuda Z28, Javelin, Cuda, Javelin, Z28, Javelin, Firebird, Challenger, Cuda, Z28.
Let me see if I can get those qualifying results up on the screen here. What can I do with it? So I can get it here. Let's see. Just did one of those things where you save it and you don't know where you saved it on your computer.
I do that all the time. Way more than I'd like to admit.
And I saved it as something so generic, like I'll never find it. We'll just do it again here. So I'm gonna get those results up on screen. If you want to, I'm not sure who's gonna be hosting this room. It's probably Darkser. Darkser's probably gonna be hosting this room. So if you want to find him and invite me, that would help me out.
Sure.
Okay, so qualifying results in our A lobby is coming inbound. There you have it. LMR Harmonic, he'll be on pole. Tri-passing in the Camaro Z28. He'll be in second. EVR Mead in third. We know he's awfully fast. I think he took 2 out of 3 race wins, or maybe 3 out of 4. I don't remember exactly, but he was very, very fast in the preseason show last week. Drifting Hero in the Z28. I think he's got the Bumblebee. Sparky in the Javelin, and he's our first Javelin there, sitting in 5th with a 135.7. Roadkill, he's back. He's someone we saw at the Hot Hatch Challenge and a host of the Off the Track show, which is a great show. So Roadkill there in 6th. And Colonel Squirrel, formerly known as... Oh boy, I always forget his name. I did this last week. Stig Batman.
Panda.
Darkser.
No, Stig Batman, you're right.
Yeah, Stig Batman. Darkser. He's another Z28 driver, and now we get to all the Javelins. Here we go. Julian, Dysterical, and a pair of Javelins as well. There's your
Andy, you're about to love me, but my Xbox is not letting me join the lobby again. I don't know why it doesn't let me join game.
Let me join then, and I'll invite you.
I'll throw this out a window one day and get a new one, don't worry.
Now, you may want to do that, because
I'm
not gonna lie, your Xbox kind of sucks.
It does suck, and it's very annoying. Although, to be fair, it's hung on a lot longer than my laptop did.
Okay, I'm inviting you here. There you go.
Good to go.
People in the chat saying my dock isn't right. It could be. Unless that wasn't all the times.
As far as I'm seeing... Oh, nope.
Yeah, I'm
nope,
seeing...
A few more came in.
Did a few more come in?
So, yep. Yeah, so a few people got bumped down. Hailfire's now the cutoff. So 136.7's the cutoff. got a lot more 135s in.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, okay. So my apologies there. That was, we were a
They
little...
call me Bubs snuck in here. He was in the Hot Hatch Challenge as well.
You know what, let me just get this back up there because there's been a significant change. There's been some big changes here. Yes.
So, highlighting this.
We'll get those new qualifying results up. Just a moment.
Still pretty solid mix of cars though. Only thing that changes is we no longer have, actually no, we do have Dodge Challengers, so yeah.
You got a Dodge now. Nice.
Yep, Big Ben, 136.7.
Okay, so that actually should be the qualifying results for today. So, obviously the big move there, Mr. Drive. I believe he ran in the earlier series earlier today. And you know what? I didn't actually see those results. Maybe we can do that in between races. But Mr. Drive, I believe he raced earlier today. He's back 135.0. I believe that's a full half-second faster than what he did earlier today. So he's found some pace. He's got his Javelin in second place. So who'd we lose? Because that's important.
Insanity Curse got bumped down, CCGG Racing. I think those were the only two. And They Call Me Bug snuck in, and so did Mr. Drive.
We are going to be moving lobbies, just FYI. So I'll send you another invite.
Got it. And TORA Roadkill's in here. I don't think he was in here last time.
Yeah, he was. He was in 5th last time.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me get you this invite. Okay, that one's been sent. So, we... trying to see what cars we may be missing. No Mustangs.
No. I'm not even sure if any ran tonight.
One Challenger. Obviously, we only saw one 69 Firebird Trans Am. We do have a 73 on pole, but there's also a 69. Not one of those. But we do have.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any Camaro Super Sports running.
Yeah, I know there's definitely some registered, but what, I count 5 cars here? We have the Cuda, the Challenger, the Javelin, the Firebird.
Yep.
And the Z28. 5. Not bad. Not bad. It could be
No,
worse.
and I think we'll find that these will be the competitive cars moving forward. Maybe the Challenger's an outlier. We'll see.
Yeah.
Either that or the Challenger's a hidden gem and nobody's found it yet.
But Harmonic, the only guy to touch the 34s. I expect him to be very, very strong. If you're Mr. Drive, if you're tri-passing, you gotta be there. After one lap, if he's got any sort of space after lap 1, it's goodbye. These other guys, they got to be able to kind of hang on to the back of him as much as they possibly can. Keep him within sight, because you can't let a guy like Harmonic get away.
Yeah, I mean, even just in the qualifying session, we saw how much of a gap he was able to pull within one lap.
And I think they can go faster. I think Drive might be able to go faster. If he found a half second from earlier today to tonight, he may be able to touch 34s. Try passing, EVR Mead, Drifting Hero, and Sparky, and Roadkill I'd throw in there. All, I bet, those times are going to come down. Colonel, I don't know. Squirrel, we know he can find more time. So I know there's more time outside of qualifying. Harmonix found it, and found it fast, though, and that's what's scary.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they start to come down as well, just because the people in your rearview mirror will make you go a lot faster. They add about 10 horsepower.
Also, let's talk about the corkscrew. We really haven't talked about it too much. The corkscrew's gonna be it's the denominator, the variable we just can't account for. It can turn a car, spin it, and flip it.
It can, and if you miss your braking point, you can get all sorts of out of shape, and even if you don't go off track, you're not getting a good exit, and somebody's going to catch up to you pretty quickly coming down that hill.
And the braking point for the corkscrew, you're coming up to a crest, so you can't actually see the corkscrew. It's blind. So your braking point is, when I was driving, I remember it being right there, just before the crest. So you're braking before you even see the turn, and you hate doing that. You want to be able to see your turning point, and you can't see it. And then just never mind, especially the guys who may be driving in the first-person view, the guys driving in the cockpit or on the nose, the hood cam, for example, all they see is sky. And for those guys, they use trees or some sort of something in the distance for a turning point. At least with the traditional chase cam, you can see the whole body of the car and you can see the corkscrew. Those guys in the first-person view, boy, I don't know how they do it.
So that's actually the view that I prefer, just because it's always felt more natural to me, but it's freaking terrifying, and I can't imagine what that turn is like in real life.
3 stories. 3 stories in total. I want to say, actually, once you get all the way down to after turn, what turn is that? I should get a track map up. That would be turn.
I think it's 6 stories in total, right?
Either way, it's a massive drop. So 6 stories in total. We'll just call it 5.5 for argument's sake. Once you get all the way back to the bottom of that corkscrew after turn number 11, 10, 9, it's a huge drop.
Oh yeah, it I think that is one of the areas of the track where Forza doesn't do it justice, just because you're looking at a screen. I feel like if you were to go stand there, you'd feel like you were at the top of the cliff.
And I bet some people would say, even for a brief moment, they feel like they're flying. You know, the car's actually not even touching the ground, even though it may actually, but your stomach completely drops out on a turn like that. Those sort of turns just don't exist out there in traditional racetracks. That one's definitely a unique turn at Laguna Seca. But we are moments away from from race number 1 in the opening round for the TORA Trans Am Series. If you're joining us late, my name is Andy, aka THR Flipmode, and my co-host today is Pat McAssey. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Race number 1 about to kick off. Just a few more check marks in this lobby. We're ready to spectate. We're ready to give you guys this action, and it's going to be something fun. Real fun, especially around Laguna Seca. It's 29 miles of race distance. It's going to be our shortest track on the calendar and our shortest race distance. Most of the races on the calendar are going to be in the 33 to 36 miles. This one's going to be 2 races, 29 miles in total of racing for each race. Look out for turn 1, Andretti hairpin. Does Mr. Drive, does Try-Passing, EVR Mead, Roadkill, Sparky, do they make moves here and shake it up in turn 1? We're going to find out real shortly. After turn number 1, you're going to get a single file line. There's a really defined racing line for most of this track. I don't like going too wide, certainly 3 wide anywhere. It's narrow. Laguna Seca does not allow that. You can make outbrake your opponent at the corkscrew. You can get someone there, and at turn 11, like Merginator said, does something happen here at turn number 1, Andretti hairpin? We are about to find out. The format, though, Pat, help us out again. Remind the viewers how the racing is going to be started.
So we are going to have a rolling start. Everybody's going to go around the track one time, maintaining a speed of, I believe, 60 miles an hour. And then once the first car hits, or once your row hits the start-finish line, you can go. So everybody will take off as they come back across the start-finish straight.
There he is, your pole, LMR Harmonic, coming around turn number 1 for the first time. This is indeed, like Pat said, a rolling start. Mr. Drive in the gold Javelin just behind him. THR try-passing the first of the THR drivers there. In third in the Z28. In fourth is EVR Mead. And what car did he end up settling on? Mead settled on. Let's get a look.
He has the Plymouth Cuda.
Cuda. So he settled on the Cuda. We saw him race that last week. Drifting Hero in the Bumblebee Z28. Then it's Sparky in 6th. And he is in the Javelin. No, excuse me.
So Sparky's actually in a Mustang. I'm riding on board with him right now. So
I thought I saw
whatever's
that.
listed here is incorrect.
Is incorrect, yes.
Got some
He
Ford
switched to the
representation.
Mustang. Yeah, that's definitely a Mustang. No doubt about it. Then we'll go down to 7th, DRR Roadkill. He's on screen right now. Well, in the first-person view, there he is. In the Dodge. Coming into the Corkscrew. And they will be getting into a format now. It's rolling start 2x2. Now, their race will start once they cross the start-finish line. Not when the leader does. When they cross the start-finish line, that's when they can put the hammer down. So we're going to be aboard Sparky as we come around turn number 11 and ready to kick off the TORA Trans Am Series Round 1 Laguna Seca, 13 laps. And here we go, Harmonic Drive, try-passing Mead, Drifting Hero. This is Sparky, Roadkill right behind him. And we are underway. The TORA Trans Am Series has begun. A good start there from Harmonic. Drive is going to be right there. There's a contact already. Drive and try-passing, making contact. Everyone's sorting it out, though. Boy, someone got left out the Drive there. Drive
Everybody else
barely
staying
holds
pretty
on.
clean in the back of the pack. Oh, the big contact from who is in 13th. SRT Nos to the back of FRF. Hysterical, but nobody really seemed to pay any price for it.
No changes up here yet. Drifting Hero goes a little into the dirt there. Holds on to that Z28. It's still Harmonic to Mr. Drive to try-passing, who's all over the back of Mr. Drive. I think he wants to get around him. Little gap till you get to Mead, then to Drifting Hero. Drifting Hero having trouble early with that Z28. Can Sparky make a move? That's who we're riding aboard right now in the yellow Mustang Boss. Oh, we got a driver off his try-passing, heading uphill into the Corkscrew. This is certainly going to give a chance to Mead. He's able to hold on. Boy, try-passing. Having a little trouble here early on. We thought he was faster there than Drive, but he's got to settle down.
Pedantic Squirrel looks like he wants to get around HCCR Colonel right now. He's all over the back of him.
We'll drop back to Colonel now, and look at that rainbow-looking car. He's in the Javelin, and looking behind, there's Squirrel. Like, looking left and right, dodging. He's going to make a move here in turn 11. We said that's going to be a place to be. Squirrel's gonna get the job done. Textbook. Now on exit, who's got the better one? This is Javelin versus Javelin.
We got Colonel coming back. Not sure he's gonna have enough though to get around the outside. He might have to tuck back in.
And Squirrel's gonna be last on the brakes, but he's gonna go deep. He's gonna come back across and cut that space off, and he does. Job done. Pedantic Squirrel moves into 9th place.
Great job setting that up. He was looking to get that done for about 2 turns before the Corkscrew.
So Squirrel moves into 9th place. Your leader, LMR Harmonic, and your fastest lap in a 36 yet, so he's yet to get into the 35s. Is LMR Harmonic. Those cars and those tires got to get a little warmed up, and that's starting to happen as we're in lap number 3. Your order. Let's get that across there. Take a look as Squirrel goes into the dirt. Now, Harmonic Drive, try-passing Mead into 4th. Who's this? This is Julian.
Colonel's gonna get overtaken in the hairpin now. Yep, TS Julian. Oh, but
he's
misses
gonna
the
go
breaking
deep
point.
though.
That could have been a great move, but it turned out to cost him a position.
And that's what we were talking about, where you can't see your breaking point. And Julian clearly took a gamble there, and it did not work out. So he's going to have to try that all again. That allows Hysterical to get through. Julian's fallen back down the order. I think he's now into 12th. He was challenging for 10th. Let's go further up this order. I don't want to miss too much action. We'll go back up to... We bet on Sparky earlier. Let's go to Driftin' Hero in the Z28. He's sitting there in 5th. No changes here. And there goes the last of the breaking boards. His Driftin' Hero kicks that thing out. Mead, Driftin' Hero, and Sparky there in 4, 5, 6. So,
everybody's been keeping their nose pretty clean so far.
They have, and I was just about to say that. Harmonic, though, is he getting away? Let's take a look. What's the gap from Harmonic to second place in Mr. Drive? I can kind of see it, though. I think he is.
On the map, it looks pretty big.
There's that map, and you're right.
Oh, yeah, if you get on board
a few
with Mr.
laps.
Drive, he's got about a hill's distance between them.
We're at board Drive now. You can kind of see Harmonic just over the crest now. That's a little bit over 2-second gap from Harmonic to Drive. Ooh, and look at that Harmonic, 34.7 for his last time around. And that's faster than what he did in qualifying. 34.9. Harmonic is getting faster. So Harmonic certainly looking like he's ready to...
Darkser looks like he's sizing up Roadkill.
Let me go back to Darkser. Darkser currently in 8th place.
Side by side coming out of the final turn. A little bit of contact. Roadkill looks to have got the better exit though.
Yeah, Roadkill in that Challenger, right? I believe that was. Look at that, just lifting off that kink left-hander. Kuda.
Yep, Kuda.
Well, he's definitely in the Kuda. The Z28 and Darkser behind him. And Darkser started, where did Darkser start? In 10th, so he's moved up 2 spots, now currently into 8th. Roadkill's fallen, started this race in 7th, hasn't changed, but Darkser on the move. So that's a good sign from him. He's made some passes, Roadkill hasn't.
I think at this point it looks just to be a matter of time because Roadkill's barely hanging on, and you can see that the cars ahead are getting away, and Darkser wants to get by him soon.
There is a little bit of gap from 7th to 6th, but that gap from the pack of cars from 2 to 6 is close. Anything can happen there. These guys, Darkser and Roadkill, got to be ready for that. So if Darkser makes a move, he's got to be ready because if something also happens in the pack in front of him, got to be quick on the brakes there.
And that's the tough part about coming up that hill on the back straight is there's so many blind crests that if something does happen ahead of you, you better hope you see it.
That's true. That's a good point because it'll come up on you much faster than anything else. You're not going to be able to see that action that happens in front of you. It's blind. They won't see it. So Darkser looking extremely dangerous there, right on the back of DR Roadkill. Here in turn number 11.
Real deep dive. He's going to try the inside. Better run this time, but not enough still.
Yeah, not enough. Not enough. We got to move there. 3rd to 4th. Mead's gutting around. Tri-passing, falling down the order. Started the race in 3rd. They have swapped. Tri-passing and Mead. Mead now into 3rd. Let me go up to Mead.
Looks like he's about to get cannibalized by Driftin' Hero, too. Either that or he's trying to pick off both these guys while they're fighting each other.
So these guys side by side. Tri-passing and Mead. You don't want to be side by side. I like tri-passing here, though. On the outside, you lift the throttle. Maybe just a brush of the brakes there on that right-hander. But look at this. Drive's getting away. These guys battling it out.
Might get him for that.
You are right. Look at Driftin' Hero. Boy, what racing here in 3, 4, 5. Drive's getting away, though. This battle for 3rd and that last podium spot is just allowed. Harmonic, see you later. Drive trying to do the same thing. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still completely up for grabs. And what about the car mix here in 3rd? We got a Kuda, a Z28,
and Bumblebee.
And the Bumblebee, yeah. 2 Z28s.
Good run out of the corkscrew.
Don't give up on tri-passing yet, though. Yeah,
no, tri-passing
something's going to happen.
Too.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is just too close. Someone's got to get... Look, he's just right on the back. That is one muscle car.
Defensive line from Mead. Bump on Tri-Pass from Drifting Hero, and Drifting Hero's going to get by Mead as well, so Mead loses 2 places in that one turn.
What a move for Drifting Hero to tuck in behind the passing car and try passing, and gives Mead no chance and no opportunity to respond. He just had to let that other car by. Oh, there's a bump.
But Mead just bumps
a bump pass.
Drifting Hero into Tri-Passing. Bit of a pull shot
that was
there.
A bump pass. I think he probably should let Tri-Passing go through when he does. So good move there by Drifting Hero. He knew he made the mistake. So good job.
Great racing there. Let's go back in the other cars, see how they're doing, because there's a tight pack in the midfield.
Let me know who you think I should go
P9,
back to.
I'm riding on board with HCCR Colonel and P10. They're still battling it out. Looks like there's some action up front as well. So I'll ride there, see where Roadkill's doing. No, it's in front of him. Sparky, okay.
This is Pedantic Squirrel. We ride aboard in the Javelin, and here comes Colonel. Heading uphill into that corkscrew again, and we've seen so many people really trying it there, sizing up the cars in front of them. Squirrel, Colonel, Hysterical there in 11th. I gotta think he's faster. We saw he was awfully fast here last week in the preseason show. Maybe lost some pace there. He's struggling with that dodge. You can kind of see him just kicking out that rear end. Julian has been unable to get back up in the order, too. We saw him challenging for 10th, made that one mistake, and hasn't been able to get back. Here we go, Colonel. Gets a better apex. No shot, though. I'm going to go back up to Drift.
So I've been kind of silent.
Changed up there.
P5, Sparky and Drifting Hero are battling it out. I didn't want to interrupt you, but they are going side by side. They have been since the corkscrew. Right now they're going into turn 1. Drifting Hero finally got ahead, but Sparky was not giving up.
Yeah, that's who we ride aboard right now. Drifting Hero in that Z28, looking back to Sparky. Sparky pushing every corner, trying to find that speed and that pace, keep that momentum up, because this is the part of the track where speed is king. You do not want to lift off the throttle if you have to. Now we get into the slower part of the track. This left-hand turn, and like a good exit, you want to get way over to the right, ride that strip on, and now is the instinct left-hand uphill turn. You kind of just flick the controller there, flick the wheel, get it up, and stay on track. We've seen guys go off into the grass or into the dirt there and lose a lot of momentum. You cannot lose momentum going uphill into the corkscrew. You can get a pass easily there. So, Tri-Passing and Mead settling down. A little bit of space opening up between Mead and Tri-Passing and Drifting Hero and Sparky.
Bit of space opening up in the midfield as well. DR Roadkill's in 6th, and he's got a bit of a gap to 7th. Sorry, he's in 7th. He's got a bit of a gap to 6th. But everybody seems to be pretty tight from 7th down.
So this is SFM Darkser, currently sitting in 8th place. Oh, and he's gonna slam the back of Roadkill. And positions unchanged, but maybe he's just saying, hey, look, I'm here. I'm still here. These guys have been tied at the hip for this entire
race. Yeah, that seems to be the
race.
only type of contact we've had tonight, is just a bit of bumping from behind, just kind of letting them know that they're there.
Yeah,
nothing
and that's
else too crazy.
That's fine by me, but there it is. Darkser's got the move done. He's going to do it at the Andretti, coming out of the Andretti hairpin. Now into turn 2. Can he make it stick? Roadkill's going to try and stick his nose in here. He's got to lift off. And he doesn't.
So I'm on board
These
with
guys going side by side.
And he just did exactly what you said and missed the braking point into turn 1, let FRF Hysterical get alongside him, and lost the position going into the next turn. So just goes to prove that late in the race, once those braking markers are down, turn 1 can be pretty costly.
Lap 9 of 14. Darkser's gotten through on Roadkill, but so did Squirrel. So Pedantic Squirrel now into 8th. Roadkill's lost 2 spots in this lap. Number 9 of 14, and just off in the distance in that green Dodge, that's Hysterical, like you called it. Made the move around Colonel, so Hysterical's now joining the party. Darkser's getting away. He's pulling away. Squirrel and Roadkill holding on, and they do not want to. They're not battling each other. That's only allowed the rest of the field to catch back up. Darkser looking ahead, not really have a chance to catch Sparky up there, just off in the distance, turning onto that final turn, turn number 11.
So
We'll go to our
Dysterical's
leader.
making
We
his way
haven't
up
talked
quickly.
about him much, but Elmar Harmonic, I do want to highlight him for a second. Here he is in the Firebird. Yeah, that's the
He's built that
73
gap
Firebird.
up huge now.
Get the map on there so you guys can see just how far ahead he is. Elmar Harmonic, a full turn, my goodness.
Yeah, that's
Ahead
massive.
of Mr. Drive, so Harmonic in his perfect season form. Way to start the season here at the TORA Trans Am. Elmar Harmonic, your Forza RC driver, headed to Mexico City real soon. Looking awfully fast here in the debut round. And let's just kind of stay with him as he heads up to the corkscrew and see how he approaches this turn. He brakes just before the crest. Hits that green curbs on the left, curbs on the right. He's clean. Now heading into that 5-6 story drop all the way down to here. Managing the throttle, you can kind of hear him lift off easily. Now, banked turn number 10. And carry a lot of speed. And now into the flat turn number 11. He's just about got this race wrapped up. Elmar Harmonic.
Mead
So
is
time
pushing
behind
hard
the
right
leader.
now to catch up to Trypassing. He just went off in the dirt coming out of turn, what is that, 10?
Boy, you can see
He
this
really
car
wants
just
that
lift
P3.
right there.
Yeah.
He does. He certainly does. Mead and Trypassing. It is Z28 versus Cuda here in the final spot on the podium. And these two guys have been certainly very, very fast early on. Mead qualified third. Trypassing qualified third. Mead in fourth. Mead did make the move earlier on in the race. Trypassing got that spot back. And that was kind of when Drift and Hero was in the mix. He's fallen off the pace of these two guys, but that did allow Trypassing to get through. Mead hasn't been able to respond yet, though.
Trypassing was a little slow through that turn, which allowed me to get right up on him coming up the hill, and he's feeling the pressure now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make a move into the corkscrew. Trypassing's going to have to go defensive.
Interesting to see their on-screen Trypassing in the Z28 fastest car on track at 142 miles an hour. You got to believe that's probably just before he's heading into the Andretti hairpin turn number 1, start-finish straight.
Yeah, it's just where the car wants to turn into an airplane.
Yeah, exactly. So your order, lap number 12 of 14, well really of 13, because we did have that warm-up lap. Harmonic, Mr. Drive there in second. This is your battle for third. Trypassing and EVR Mead there in fourth. In fifth, it's going to be Drifting Hero, Sparky in sixth. Darkser on the charge up into seventh. He certainly had a great race here today. In number 8, I want to say that is Squirrel. Roadkill in 9th. Julian in 10th. FRF Hysterical in 11th. Big Ben in 12th, someone we haven't mentioned yet today. They Call Me Bubs in 13th. Hailfire in 14th. SRT Nas in 15th. And rounding out your field, it's HCCR Colonel in 16th place. Something happened to him because he fell back considerably. He started this race in 8th. Finds himself all the way in 16th place.
Yeah, he's been struggling throughout the race at multiple different times when I was checking in on him.
I mean, he put up a 136.0 in qualifying.
THR
so
Sparky just
had
got
the pace.
really lucky. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. He was just riding the dirt hard coming up the hill towards the hairpin, and he barely got it back onto the track in time for the braking zone.
So these two guys still unchanged, still Drifting Hero, still Sparky. Significant gap till you get back to Darkser in 7th. And that's not because of Darkser, that's because of the rest of the field. Darkser's actually carved his way through that field, started this race in 10th, now finds himself in 7th. Look out for him in race number 2. But right here, this is THR Sparky in the lone Mustang here in the field, I believe.
Yeah,
Lone
the only one I've
boss.
seen. And it just goes to show it can be competitive. Although you were saying, I believe, that it had a little bit less rear end grip than the other ones.
That's what I felt, yeah. So still unchanged here in third. So these two guys moving and grooving here in lap number 13. EBR Mead and THR Tri-Passing. Boy, is this... We got some side-by-side here? We do. Tri-Passing's going to be on the inside for this left-hand turn. Definitely not a passing turn. So Mead's going to have to fall in line.
Mead's been quicker than him through there all night, as far as I've seen. But it's just a tough spot to get by. You can't really do it.
Heading uphill now. Coming towards the corkscrew, both on the brakes at the same time. Tri-Passing's going to
Big
lock
up from Tri-Passing.
Is this the opportunity that Mead needs? He can't take advantage of it. Boy, if it wasn't
Good
there,
defensive
where is
line
it?
by Tri-Passing through that turn.
What a job by THR Tri-Passing.
He's
The
making
driver
that
from
car
Wisconsin.
real wide.
Gonna go defensive again. Gonna cut that car, bring it across the track, and he doesn't. He gives space.
Got
He
the
was a
tail
little
out, but it
polite.
wasn't enough to get him to lift off.
It wasn't. You're right. If he could just kind of get that car out there and kind of make him feel uncomfortable, he got a good run. But Mead's got no room here. He's going to be outside on Andretti hairpin. He's going to have to cut back if it's there. Tri-Passing's going to make that Z28 as wide as possible. Boy, what racing
Great
from these
defensive
two.
driving.
Woo. And the final lap here in the first race, the first round here at Laguna Seca. 27 miles complete, just 2 miles remaining. And LMR Harmonic from pole is going to be likely your race winner in the Z28, way out in front. Mr. Drive there just off in the distance. He's in second in the Javelin. And here is your battle for third. THR Tri-Passing and EDR Mead. Is it going to be here? It is not. It's going to be Tri-Passing
Bit of contact.
into Mead. And that's likely the way they're going to finish. I'm going to jump up quickly to LMR Harmonic to catch him crossing the line. A little squirrely there coming out of turn number 11. And it's going to be Harmonic who takes the checker here in race number 1 at Laguna. Drive's going to be in second place. He's going to be crossing the line now. And in third, it looks like it's going to be THR Tri-Passing, holding on to EBR Mead. What a battle from those two. Harmonic, Drive, Tri-Passing. Good effort from EBR Mead. Drifting Hero in 5th. Sparky in 6th. Good job from SFM Darkser in 7th. Squirrel's going to manage 8th. DR Roadkill in 9th. Julian in 10th. Hysterical 11th. Big Ben 12th. Hailfire's going to be crossing the line now in 13th. Bubs in 14th. Nas, then to Colonel. Woo!
What a drive from Tri-Passing. I still can't believe he held on to that position.
He struggled early on. He did not... I mean, let me rephrase that. He came out fast. He came out hard in that first lap. And then I think he started to push the car a little too much and then started to find its limits for race pace, right? And then settled down. But Mead gave him a battle there.
Yeah. There were a few times where I thought he was going to have him, and somehow he just brought the Camaro all the way across the track on exit and didn't give him any room.
And Drifting Hero played a part in this race. Drifting Hero finished in 5th, but he was there because the battle, the pack of 3, 4, 5, and 6 was very, very close. So Drifting Hero played a part in this because at one point, Tri-Passing made a move, and Drifting Hero slotted in right behind him and forced Mead to the outside. Mead never.
Yeah,
got
they
that
were
third
all
place
scrapping
back.
for the first few laps. And another person I think we should talk about just quickly was Darkser. He made a hard charge through the field as well.
Yep, started this race in 10th, I believe. 10th, yes. Squirrel moved up a spot. He started in 9th. He finished the race in 8th. Roadkill, he was your loser. He lost 3 spots, started the race in 7th. Excuse me, he finished in 9th, so 2 spots from him. But boy, what happened to, because we didn't see it, but what happened to HCCR Colonel? Maybe someone in the chat can help us out, but he started the race in 8th, finished last.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he had an issue later on in the race. When I saw him in the beginning half, he was just struggling, losing places left and right. Ran wide into turn 1 at one point. So just a few mistakes early on.
But good news for him, there's another race here tonight. We got one more race. It's still going to be here at Laguna Seca. He's got a redemption chance here. And the order for race number 2, Pat.
Order for race number 2. Let me bring it up on my screen for you. It will be LMR Harmonic from Mr. Drive, THR Tripassin, EVR Mead, Driftin' Hero, THR Sparky, Darkser, Pedantic Squirrel, DRR Roadkill, TS Julian, Hysterical, Big Ben, and then I can't scroll any farther.
Yeah, we're gonna have to speculate at that point.
Yeah.
We know Hailfire, Bubs,
Yep.
and Colonel.
Nos.
Nos, then to Colonel. Yeah, so it's gonna be those will be the back of the pack for race number 2. But LMR Harmonic, again, the only driver to put in the 34s there in the race. Not only did he put a 34 up, he put a 34.4, so the guy is getting quicker.
Yeah, that gap was unbelievable by the end of that race.
That certainly was. Maybe
It's
the
like we were
Trans
watching,
Am
like,
underestimated.
2015
Boy,
F1.
my goodness. Yeah. That's certainly the Mercedes of the Trans Am, I guess.
Yeah. Pontiac W06.
But definitely well earned there. LMR Harmonic, we didn't get a chance to talk about him too much during that race, but smoked the field. Another good solid drive by Mr. Drive. I like what he did there. You know, they may be waiting for me. So Mr. Drive, he could have played a bigger part. He could have been involved in that pack behind him. But he didn't. He got his chance to break away and never looked back. So good job from him. Can't say it enough. Tripassin to hold off EVR Mead. That was quite the effort from him. He put up some big boy moves there. Did the THR driver. EVR Mead had really one opportunity, took advantage of it, couldn't respond. Can he do this time what he couldn't do in race number 1? In race number 2, we're about to find out here. THR Flipmode, Andy, aka THR Flipmode here, calling the action. Alongside me is Pat McAssey for the race number 2 here at TORA Trans Am on YMTV. Thank you guys for tuning in. And a pleasure. Got a beautiful sunset here at Laguna now. How'd they manage that?
Wine country. So pretty.
It's true. Monterey, California. There he is, your race 1 winner. Can he make it a clean sweep? LMR Harmonic took pole early on. Definitely your fastest driver of the night in the 34s. The only driver to get there. He's going to be starting race number 2 on pole again. Can he get a clean start? Look out for Mr. Drive there in the Javelin right behind him in 2nd place. THR Tripassin in 3rd. Then we get to EVR Mead in the CUDA. Driftin' Hero in the Z28. Sparky in the Boss Mustang. We'll go back to Sparky again and get a good look from him. of the field, both in front and behind. FSM Darkser rewarded after a good race one with a 7th place start here. Squirrel in 8th, Julian in 10th, now into the top 10, Hysterical in 11th. And here we go. Getting into formation now, coming around turn number 10, approaching turn number 11. And here is how we will roll. LML Harmonic, Mr. Drive, Try-Passing, Mead, Driftin' Hero. This is THR Sparky behind him, Darkser Squirrel, Roadkill. And then we get to... let's see here.
TUS Julian.
Julian, thank you. Here we go. Green, green, green. Gonna be Harmonic holding on. Drive on the outside. Try-Pass is gonna try and sneak on the inside. Can he get it done? No, they're gonna be clean through turn number 1.
Hysterical came through on the inside, bumped Roadkill, and caused a bunch of chaos back here. And then he sneaks through.
Gap.
Big Ben snuck through. They call me Bubs. A few guys took advantage of that. Hailfire as well up into P8.
Yeah, it must have been a significant incident there. I see Hysterical's moved up into 6th. But up front here, Harmonic Drive. Try-Passing and Mead going right back to where they left off, side by side. Driftin' Hero in 5th, Sparky there in 6th. Behind, let's jump back, see what happened there. Well, Bubs there in 10th position. And there's 8th, 7th, 8th, 9. Behind is Julian, Big Ben, side by side. This is a single file place. You don't want to be side by side. Someone's going to go. And they both managed to do it there. Let's see what happens here as they head towards, uphill towards the corkscrew. Julian, oh, it's going to be a touch!
THR
Big Ben barely holds on to it.
went off at the corkscrew. Not sure what happened there. I wasn't riding on board. I was a little bit further back, but Try-Passing is off, so he's fallen down.
So has Mead. Mead's back there as well.
They must have came together. Not sure who's trying to get by who.
Yeah, they must have come together. Try-Passing now into 12th. Mead there in 10th, so certainly a disaster's happened here on lap number 1. For the drivers there.
Oh, bit of contact again. Hailfire is out of shape. Yep.
Boy, coming out of turn 11.
Roadkill got right into the back
lost
of it.
the rear end. I don't know if that was his fault. I thought those two guys came out clean, and Hailfire kind of just lost.
No,
I'd like to get a second look at that.
I was on board with Roadkill.
So we should go through the order here. Joe to Driftin' Hero in 3rd. LMR Harmonic there in 1st. Mr. Drive in 2nd. That's how they finished in race number 1. That's how they qualified. But we've had a huge development here in lap number 1. That was EDR Mead and Try-Passing came together in the corkscrew. We didn't see it happen on screen, but they've fallen significantly down the order. That means Driftin' Hero in the Z28, who we ride aboard right now, is currently in 3rd. THR Sparky, they're in 4th. Now, can Sparky make a move? He couldn't catch up to Driftin' Hero. He kept pace with him, couldn't make the pass. Can Sparky do it here in race 2? We will certainly find out. Further down this order, what happened?
Chaos. We didn't see it in race 1, we saw it in race 2.
Oh, there's more. There's more. I just saw it there. I think Mead was involved again.
Just hopped on Mead. I didn't
Roadkill.
see anything, so I might have just missed it.
Boy, look at this. It seems like the entire field of Trans Am cars here. In turn number 10, Colonel, Roadkill, Squirrel, Big Ben. Wow. The race isn't going to be won here in the first laps. In the first few laps, it certainly can be lost.
As we saw.
Now we start to find very fast drivers, Try-Passing and Mead near the back of the field. And they got to be able to manage their cars, compose themselves. They've had a disaster of a start and slice their way through this field. They still got time to do it. You don't need to do it all in one lap.
As we saw from Darkster last race, it can be done.
It can, exactly. Mead's moved up a few spots, now in 7th. He fell back to 10th. Try-Passing's done the same. He was in 12th, moved up to 9th. So they are moving up this order.
He's sizing up TUS Julian, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries something into the corkscrew. It looks like he's getting a bit closer. Not sure if he will
Try-Passing
have
right
to.
now.
Closes up the gap again here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough room to make
No,
a move
it's
here.
not.
It would be pretty bold.
If he got a better I thought he was gonna get a better exit than Julian out of that quick left-hander, because he got a much better exit out of the turn before that.
And these two guys kind of mixed it up in the Forza Racing Championship, so they got a little history. They know each other. So not surprised to see them here in TORA Trans Am, doing the same thing right where they left off. Good job by Julian.
Defensive line by Julian there.
Exactly. Not giving Tri-Passing any room. Big Ben's made a move around Pedantic Squirrel for 11th. And again, Colonel in 16th place, not able to recover there after a disaster race number 1. So Julian's going to go a bit wide.
By Tri-Passing, but he's coming up the inside.
Coming out of the Andretti hairpin, Julian's going to be on the inside in turn number 2. He's going to go first on the brakes. What's this mean right here? Under the Continental Bridge.
Good run on exit.
They are still side by side. Julian's going to be on the inside with his left-hander. And this is not a passing turn, not one of my favorites. It can be done, but not the place I would do it. I would wait until the corkscrew, a little touch there from Tri-Passing onto Julian, gives him some space. You can clearly see that there. Not what Tri-Passing wanted. He was just a little too close. Behind him, that's going to be Roadkill, I believe. No, Bub's there. Oh, Mead. No, excuse me. Who was in 9th or 10th? Roadkill. It is Roadkill. So go through our order here for us, Pat, if you can. Tri-Passing is going to lose that on the corkscrew, and this race is slipping away from him.
So we got in P1, we've got LMR Harmonic with Mr. Drive P2, who's keeping him a little bit closer than he did last race. P3, we got Drifting Hero. P4, THR Sparky, then Hysterical. EVR Mead, all the way up to P6 after that early mistake. They call me Bubs, P7. TUS Julian, 8th. Tri-Passing in 9th. DRR Roadkill in 10th. Pedantic Squirrel, 11th. Dark Search, 12th. Big Ben, 13. Hailfire, 14. SRT Nas in 15th. And HCCR Colonel running last, so tough night for him.
Yeah, tough night indeed. Darkser now in 12th. Now he started tonight. Okay, he made a lot, and he's got to be happy about that. Had a great race number 1, but certainly he was part of the mess that was that first lap and second lap. He now finds himself in 11th, over behind Roadkill, or Pedantic Squirrel, excuse me. So Darkser in the Z28, can he catch back up and get into another top 10 finish? Lap 6 of 14, 5 of 13, no matter how you look at it. We did have that rolling start warm-up lap. Drive the gap to Harmonic 400 feet, so Harmonic's not been able to get quite far away as he did in lap number 1, 400 feet, the distance between those two. Tri-Passing still in a battle now. Let's try and find some
I wonder
action.
if he has any damage from what happened earlier on, because we didn't really see what the contact was between him and Mead, but Mead seems to have recovered a lot better from that incident.
And I think I can get damage on screen. No, that's map.
Right, I forgot that. No, loop data.
There it is. No damage from Tri-Passing.
No damage. So he's just having a tough time getting by Julian.
Julian's no slouch. Didn't have the best qualifying, I think, and not certainly the best for race number 1. He did have some contact coming out of the corkscrew in race number 1, but I know he's very, very fast. You don't make a Wednesday showdown and be a slow driver, so we know he's got some skill. So Tri-Passing certainly got his hands full.
Might be a good time for him. Julian just got a bit out of shape, so he's going to make a move into the spot where you don't want to make a move. Oh, nope, he backed out of it.
But I'd rather be the hunter than the prey. And to me, Tri-Passing's the hunter right now. Julian, got to be watching his mirrors.
Absolutely. I think with the pace he's showing right now, at this point, he's just got to keep Julian within reach. And then he'll get him at some point.
Could be right here into the corkscrew. Julian on the defensive. No place for a cutback.
Nope.
And that move's got to be made into the corkscrew, not coming out of it.
Yeah, there's really only one line you can take there to get somebody. It's because there's just no way to run too wide. Although people were doing it earlier, it's mental, but a bit of contact there.
That's clean. I think try passing. I wouldn't mind. You know, there was a little bit of space there. Julian gave him.
Yeah.
Take it, get aggressive, make the move. You know what? And so what? There's a little bit of contact there. It's not like it took Julian off his racing line. In my mind, try passing could have been a little aggressive there and kind of lifted off, and I think it's a little too polite. But it's the first round of the series. It's the second race. We still got a long season
right
ahead.
Out the gate.
And that's a good point. Yeah. Maybe that's what he's thinking there. Lap 8 of 14, 7 of 13 here. Harmonic, your leader.
Right up under his bumper now.
And Mead. I think Mead's moving up this order. Mead's in 5th last time I saw him come across that board. So look out for Mead. Here we go. Try passing side by side with Julian.
Gets it done.
Wow, what a move.
And I think that's the first time we've seen him move there.
That is the first time. That's not easy. And that takes cooperation from both drivers and understanding that, you know what, go ahead, take that spot. But this is just only invited Roadkill and Squirrel into this party as well. So look out. Now can Roadkill capture on this move that try-passing is made from Julian. Hysterical's loving this. There's just a good amount of space from him. Bubs next up for THR try-passing.
Another one of your teammates, THR Sparky's running P4, riding on the back of Drift and Nero. Again, THR Sparky's the only person running a Mustang tonight, so doing competitive times. Not sure if it's just him. Just have to see if other people come out with that car later in the series and see if they can compete as well.
There will be an opportunity for drivers to swap cars. That happens later on in the season, rounds 3, 4, or 5. I'll have to double check the rules. But there will be an opportunity for drivers to make a car swap. So if they do not like the car they have chose, or they see it as a disadvantage and they want to make a change, they can do that. THR Sparky in the 463 Ford Mustang boss. Currently sitting in 4th, looking ahead to Drift and Hero. These two guys have been paired together all night. Drifting Hero wants that podium spot. He didn't get it last time out. Sitting pretty now in 3rd. But Sparky's not going to make it easy for him. Mead, what about that? A recovery race from EVR Mead. All the way back, I saw it 10th. I'm pretty sure I saw it 10th when after the contact between him and try-passing. So he didn't let it bother him. He got his composure together. It did get a little sloppy there. But certainly settled down to EVR Mead. Now finds himself in 5th place and collecting valuable points.
Yeah, I'm still curious to see exactly what happened there between the two of them. Because for all we know, maybe one of the two of them will be getting some sort of penalty after this race. But yeah, I don't know. But EVR Mead, he all of a sudden made it from P10 to P6 in a matter of like a lap. He's slowly worked his way up a bit more still. But yeah, he did a lot of work and he did it quick.
Lap 9 of 13, getting to the closing stages of the opening round here at Laguna Seca. Andy,
Sparky's
aka
all over the back
THR Flipmode, on the mic here, as well as Pat McAssey. If you're just joining us, race number 2 here. Harmonic's been the dominant driver of the night, and he's been your pole position race 1 winner and looking to be strong here in race number 2. But the story of the night has been the action between 3, 4, and 5, and it's kicking off again. Drifting Hero, Sparky, and Mead with a big cut coming out of the corkscrew.
LMR Harmonic, I'm not sure if he took race 1 is a sign that he could coast a bit, but he is a bit slower lap time wise this race, and you can kind of see that reflected in the fact that the gap is not an entire straightaway.
He's still got a good distance though between him.
Yeah, and he's still
Mr.
cranking
Drive.
out 134s. It's just a few
That's
tenths off with what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean it's an 8 second. It's nearly 9 seconds. 8.7, excuse me, from Harmonic to Mr. Drive.
His races have essentially been one turn all night.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's just manage turn 1, manage turn 2, and get through the corkscrew on your first lap, then settle down. He's had nothing but the opportunity to race Laguna Seca, whereas, and Mr. Drive as well. But Tri-Passing, Mead, Drifting Hero, and Sparky have not had that luxury. They have had to battle it out. Let's take a look at that battle. We'll go aboard Sparky again here.
Yeah,
He's
Drifting
still
Hero's
over the
been
back of
real
him.
defensive this lap. This is the closest they've been coming up the hill so far.
There it is, Sparky on the outside of the corkscrew. Couldn't get the job done. Gonna have to fall back in line. Now Mead's right there. So a move done incorrectly here by Sparky could cost a spot from Mead. So Mead could make the double move here like Drifting Hero did in race number 1.
Yeah, and that would be a hell of a recovery drive coming from where he fell down to.
Yeah, 10th to a podium, possibly. It certainly can happen here for EVR Mead coming around the kink, turn number 1 into the Andretti hairpin now. Drifting Hero and Sparky. You can see those sparks kind of just fly off, and Mead is so close now. Now it's on. It is on. The battle for this final podium spot. It's going to be on these last final laps. Drifting Hero, Sparky, and EVR Mead. Where is Tri-Passing? So Tri-Passing's now in 7th. Dysterical is going to be the driver in between this gap, or this pack you see on screen. It's a good distance till you get to Dysterical.
Drifting Hero gets in the
about
dirt.
4 seconds.
Drifting Hero made a mistake on exit, cut all the way across the track to cut Sparky off. Good defensive driving. Great block. Mead, though, you can tell he's just waiting for these two to make a mistake.
Sparky's likes being on the right-hand side of that corkscrew, and that's good, but he's got to be able to outbrake him into the corkscrew, and you can't do that there on the right-hand side. I'd rather be on the left-hand side, on the inside of the corkscrew, but he's made a mistake. He's made a mistake. Sparky's on the inside. He's going to be the first to break.
And he doesn't take it
let
out
Mead
wide
go
enough
through.
on exit, so Mead's going to get a good
doesn't.
run.
Again, the THR driver's being very polite. Tri-Passing did the same thing earlier on, but he's barely holding on to this spot in 4th. Mead now on the inside. Now it's going to go
He's
left
trying to stick
to
with him
right.
around the outside, but it's not enough. So Mead gets through P4.
Nice job from EVR Mead now. Can he get that podium after a huge
smells it.
incident? He certainly does, and he wants. That would be. He didn't get. He's just got robbed of that podium in race number 1 from Tri-Passing, and the incident here we missed off screen in lap number 1 cost him significant track time in significant places. But he's battled his way all back to 4th place. He's got 1.5 laps to do it. Drifting Hero's the driver in front of him, and Drifting Hero again is losing the rear end of that Z28. It's Cuda versus Z28 versus Ford and Sparky DS just behind. Mead's quicker. Mead is quicker than Sparky, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised at that. Is Mead quicker than Drifting Hero? We're about to find out. We did lose a driver, by the way. I went to loading screen for a second there. So we did lose a driver. I'll get that report. If you see it, let me know.
I will check down the order.
So here we go, turn number 11. It's going to be the final lap. Drifting Hero currently in third. This is EDR Mead in fourth, battling it out for that final podium spot. I think Sparky is there in fifth. It would take a big incident for him, I think, to take advantage of this. Mead's going to be calculated and pick his spot. Where's it going to be? He hasn't had an opportunity to try it and test it. It's just going to have to be a bang-bang type move for EDR Mead to get it done. It's going to be an untested one. But LMR Harmonic, your leader, right from the start in the onset, dominating performance from him. In number 2, Mr. Drive. We'll get him on screen there for a brief moment here. I don't want to miss any potential move, but there he is, Mr. Drive there in the Javelin, cruising to another consecutive second place and podium finish. Good job by him. In third, can't forget, Drifting Hero, here he is. Looking back to Mead. I think these two guys are settling down. Maybe Mead's okay with fourth.
Yeah, I think that might be the case at this point. Because that seems to be the only place where he would have been able to get it done.
If it's not going to be there, it's got to be at turn number 11, and that's where we are coming up. Turn number 10 right here. The right
Closing
bank
the gap.
turn. And I don't know.
Yeah, he's not close enough.
Not close enough.
Bit of a lockup.
So it's definitely going to be LMR Harmonic who's going to take your race number 1 and race number 2 wins. Congratulations to him. Mr. Drive's going to finish in second. There he is. Drifting Hero is going to hold on to third place from EDR Mead in the recovery race. So congratulations to your podium finishers. Mead gets robbed of 2 podiums tonight, finishing just off in 4th place for both races. Sparky there in 5th place got passed by Mead in the second to last lap. Now Roadkill was our
race
driver
2,
who
you
did
could
drop.
say he either got robbed of a podium or he lucked his way out of a 10th place.
That's true. It could have been a bad race for EVR Mead, and he chose to put his head down rather than sticking into the Laguna Seca sand. Nope, he pulled himself out and managed a 4th place. I think it's a fantastic job from him. 6th place goes to Hysterical. THR try-passing from 12th, comes back, finishes in 7th. In 8th, that's going to be They Call Me Bubs. And then in 9th, Darkser. Big Ben gets a top 10 finish. TUS Julian in 11th. Pedantic Squirrel in 12th. Now, obviously, there were 16 drivers in the lobby. We can't get to the rest of the drivers there, but we'll get that up. And it will be available on the Online Racing Association's website for your full and final race.
Hey, Andy,
Remember, folks,
I just found something out that's going to blow your mind. Use the right joystick.
Wow.
Right? I
you,
never
sir.
knew.
I never knew that.
I didn't either. I just tried it.
Well, there we go. So there's your race order. Provisional, of course. Ben Julian, Pedantic Squirrel, Hailfire finishes in 13th, Nas in 14th, Colonel in 15th, and we lost Roadkill about 3/4 of the way through that race, and he's going to have a DNF. Of course, these race results are provisional. The marshals will review the tape, and any penalties, any assessed unfair moves or advantages that were taken on track, those will be doled out during the week, and we'll have a scorecard for you next week. But that was round number 1 here at the TORA Trans Am Series at Laguna Seca. Not shy of action, was it?
No, absolutely not. Great night of racing. Lots of action. And we had a bit of a clean race and a bit of a chaotic race, so something for everybody.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of action there in the middle fields to the back of the pack. So there definitely, I think, needs to be some tape looked at. But not our job. That's the job of the TORA marshals, and they'll do a fair job of it. But how about the job by Elmar Harmonic? Unchallenged today, really. Qualified on pole by 0.6 of a second. One race one, not even close. Race number 2, same thing again. He's certainly in Forza Racing Championship form, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be one to try. I wouldn't even say keep an eye out for this series. He's going to be the one that everybody has their eye on.
Absolutely. And next time out, we are at Road America. So that'll be definitely a different track to Laguna Seca, that's for sure. Definitely I think it's nearly twice the size of Laguna Seca. And certainly the race distance will be longer. Long straights, periods of high intensity, periods of low intensity. And what I mean by that is those long straights and then 90-degree turns. You will have some kinks there, that high-speed kink. So Canada Corner, Road America is certainly a track that provides a lot of passing opportunities. The carousel is another place where these cars will really struggle. These cars do not have aero, folks. So the factory aero, the factory parts that came with this car, that's what we're driving. So the carousel will certainly be a lot of fun to watch. These cars kind of drift their way around. So that's next week at Road America. Today, though, it was all about Elmar Harmonic. He took the race one in race number 1. Race number 2 did it again. Mr. Drive with a pair of podiums there in 2nd place. And then in 3rd, it was THR Tri-Passing who got the podium in race number 1. And then in race number 2, it was Driftin' Hero who managed just to hold on from EDR Mead. So if you want to race in the Online Racing Association's Trans Am, you can. You can still sign up. TheOnlineRacingAssociation.com. Sign yourself up, get a race number, come out and race with us, and I hope to call your name next week. My favorite moment of the night, and Pat, get ready, I'm going to come to you. I think it's going to be... I think it was the move in race number 1 when Driftin' Hero slotted behind Tri-Passing. Tri-Passing made a move, and Driftin' Hero got behind him, and they both passed EVR Mead. EVR Mead never responded, and that's how Tri-Passing got that podium. So that's my moment of the night. THR Tri-Passing earned that spot in the first race, 3rd place podium. What about you? What stuck out to you tonight?
Couple of things. I think Driftin' Hero really impressed me throughout the night. He was putting up a lot of good battles. I think it was him, and I want to say THR Sparky at one point. We're running side by side through the corkscrew and just for like an entire lap, just neck and neck. So it was great action. I have a few recordings of it on my Xbox. I'll have to watch back later to refresh, but it was a great night, and there were a lot of drivers who had good nights. Like we said in race 2, Mead had a good comeback drive, but in race 1, Darkser made a nice charge into the field.
He had a great race 1. That's a good point. An honorable mention to SFM Darkser. Great race number 1. Kind of move his way up a few spots up that field. HCCR Colonel certainly had a tough night tonight. Hopefully he has a better second round at Road America. But it's been a pleasure to have you guys all aboard the YMTV train here at TORA's Trans Am Series. We pressed this rewind button, gone back to the glory days of American muscle cars, and we will do it again next Thursday for Pat McAssey, everyone at YMTV, Flickmasher for helping us out with the graphics, Merginator helping out with some of that content, Brian Mikey J, the marshal here for the TORA Trans Am Series, and all the other guys at TORA. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, favorite, like, and tell your friends, tell your mom. YMTV guys. Had a pleasure. Good night, everyone.